The work upon which this publication was based was supported in part by grant number NSF. Now, for those who don't know, it says it plain as day, National Science Foundation. The National Science Foundation is an arm of NASA. Let me say that again. The National Science Foundation is an arm of NASA. So this was a NASA grant conducted. There was a NASA grant issued for this specific study so that NASA could get an understanding of how they were going to affect the psychology of our future generation. Now, the paper was put out in 1990. So if you have any children that were born in the 80s, you can bet that if you start researching the policy changes in preliminary middle school and high school education, the curriculums, you can guarantee that from, say, 2000 on, when you compare the curriculums, NASA had the curriculums changed and the textbooks changed to reflect the worldwide view they need our future children to agree to. Let's go to the abstract here. In this report, we present the results of a cross-cultural study on children's knowledge about the shape, gravity, movement, and location of the Earth, and about the day-night cycle. The subjects of the study were elementary school students from Greece, numbering 90, n equals 90, that's what it means, 90 students, and the United States, 60 students. The results of the study showed that the children in both samples constructed similar initial concepts about the Earth and went through similar steps in the process of changing these concepts to make them conform to the currently accepted scientific notions. Both the Greek and the American children conceptualized the Earth as flat and stationary and thought it was located in the middle of the solar system. They also thought that things fall down not toward the center of the spherical Earth, and that the day-night cycle is caused by the movement of the sun and the moon. In the process of changing these concepts, the Greek and American children formed similar misconceptions. Now, let me comment on this. Key words here. Changing these concepts to make them conform. Make them conform to the currently accepted scientific notions. So they're not going to allow these children, they didn't want these children thinking for themselves. They didn't want these children being aware of what they see every single day as elementary school students. And these are students from 3 years old, 3 or 4 years old, all the way to 12 years old. Keep going. Okay, misconceptions in science. They immediately begin the paper defending the National Science Foundation and NASA's ideology. A cross-cultural investigation of children's conceptions about the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon. Greek and American data. Misconceptions in science. One of the most interesting results of research in cognitive science and science education during the last 10 years has been the realization that students often construct powerful misconceptions of science concepts. Okay. Naive concepts in the process of knowledge acquisition. In our studies of knowledge acquisition in astronomy, we have identified a number of misconceptions that elementary school children in the United States have regarding the shape of the Earth. Ergo, Visinadal, 1987, 1988. I don't want to keep quoting the authors because they've already gotten me upset with the way they've drafted this biased paper and conducted this biased research. On the basis of this research, we have come to the conclusion that children form misconceptions of the Earth's shape because they find it very difficult to give up the idea that the Earth is flat. The presence of these misconceptions reveals that children are not blank slates with respect to Earth's shape when they receive the information that the Earth is a sphere, but that they have constructed an initial naive concept of the Earth according to which the Earth is flat. Keep calling these children naive because they're young. Let's go to procedure. Questioning procedure we follow. Renee, first grade. If you walked and walked for many days in a straight line, where would you end up? She answers, you'd end up where? You'd end up somewhere where you lost yourself. What if you kept on walking? If you turned around, you'd be lost. Would you ever reach the end of the earth? Yes. Could you fall off the edge of the earth? No. Why not? Because once you fall off, you can't get back on. Well, would you ever fall off though? No. But there is an edge of the earth? Yes. What if you could get back on? Do you think you could fall off then? Yes. If you took the edge of the thing and you had one hand on it, you could fall off easier. Wow. The questionnaire was originally developed in the United States as part of a larger project on knowledge acquisition in astronomy and was first administered to the American children. It was translated by the first author, who is a native speaker of Greek, and was administered to the Greek children with a few modifications, such as the addition of styrofoam models to investigate the Earth shape concept. Let's go to results. Earth shape. Table 2 presents the American and Greek children's responses to the factual question, what is the shape of the Earth? As can be seen, the same kinds of verbal responses were obtained by both groups of children, but with a different distribution. Round was the preferred response by the younger group in the Greek sample, 60% for the kindergarten and 86.6% for the third grade children, and the older children in the American sample, 85% and 90% for the third and fifth grade, respectively. The Greek sixth graders preferred the term sphere, 43.3%, which was not used by the American fifth grade children, only 5%. The majority of the first grade children in the American sample said that the Earth's shape is a circle, 70%, a response not nearly as common in the Greek sample, 3.3%. Finally, some of the kindergarten children in the Greek sample, 13.3%, said that the Earth is shaped like a triangle, a square, or just flat, revealing the presence of an initial naive concept. There we go again with naivety. This type of verbal response was not present in the American first grade children, although it is present in our studies of American preschoolers, except for one child who did not respond to this question, but who later drew a rectangle to indicate the shape of the Earth.